Hello everyone, I'm Doug with B&H, and today we have a special guest from Canon. This is Ken Rowe. He's showing us some brand new gear. This is a new camera and a new lens. So just quickly, what are these?
Sure, the new lens we have is actually the first in our compact Servo series of lenses. This is the CNE 18-80mm T4.4 lens. And we also have the second installment of our ME multi-purpose series. This is the ME-200S-SH.
This takes me back a bit. This looks a lot like back in the DV days, if anybody remembers. These are the XL1 and XL2 lenses. I'm having just like deja vu with this. So start me off here. What's the specs?
Well, I mean, we learned a lot from all those days from and we make a lot of broadcast lenses and stuff like that. So we're always trying to get stuff for our customers that makes things easier for them. And this lens kind of addresses where we have a lot of our EF users that are shooting video footage, and then we have our very high-end cine servos. This is kind of that middle ground lens that we feel there's a big gap for. So this is an 18-80 lens, so you have a really good zoom range for, most shooting scenarios, so it kind of fits into that sweet spot. If you look at the side of it, you'll notice that it's a lot of similarities to both our EF and also our cinema lenses. So we have the stabilizer modes on it. It actually has autofocus, which is a fantastic feature, especially when paired up with any of our cameras that have the dual pixel autofocus technology. You also notice that they turn on and off individually. So sometimes you want to be able to turn autofocus on, but maybe manually zoom, or sometimes you want to go the other way around. You'll also notice that every single element on this is geared. So if you want to put accessory attachments on it, you can do that as well. You can see on the side that there's a window, so you can see where your focus distance is. But what really makes this lens unique is the servo that's attached on the other side of the lens. So right now, with just a servo box attached, we can see that there is an ability to operate the telephoto and wide-angle zoom of the lens. But we also have the ability to actually connect a whole servo unit on the side. And this is exactly going back to those broadcast days of being able to connect and operate as a traditional servo lens. So it's a pretty flexible system. The other thing that's really nice about it is it pairs really well with our other cinema lenses. So since this is a cinema lens style, it has coatings that are similar to our other coatings on our cinema lenses, so it will match very well. So if you own our primes or own some of the other lenses, you'll be able to work this right into your workflow right away.
And also, of course, it has that same optical sharpness, the quality, good for 4K.
Oh yeah, absolutely, because it's a 4.4 straight through, so you have none of the ramping. It's a parfocal lens, which means as you zoom, you're not going to lose your focus. Very much minimalized breathing, so it's, when you focus, you're not seeing that little kind of pulsing in and out. So if you're pulling focus or operating cinema style, you can do that very smoothly.
Parfocal is something I miss so much, and that's something I like to see in here. So now this lens, is this powered externally or through the mount?
Well, it's actually both, since this lens is an EF only lens, right? So with an EF mount camera, we can power the lens as well as control the lens through the EF mount.
Even all the zoom features?
Yeah, everything.
Wow.
And the great part about that too is if you're using something like our RCV100 controller and plugging it into the camera, you can also control it through that as well. Other things that we have on the camera is we do have an external power. So if you were going to use this on a camera that didn't have a traditional powered EF mount, you'd be able to still power the lens up that way. If we turn it around to the other side, on this side you can see that there's a connector port on it as well, and this would be if you're using the typical broadcast zoom demands where you want to zoom and focus separate, maybe on a tripod studio style configuration, you'd have that option as well.
You said this is EF only, but we have kind of a perfect match for it right here in the camera body, because this is a locking EF mount on the 200. So let's start with the camera.
Sure, so this is our ME-200S-SH. This is a follow-up to our ME-20, which was our full-frame high sensitivity. So the big difference between this camera and that one is this is our super 35mm version, so this inherits the chip out of our C100 Mark II. Oh. So it's an HD camera. It has an ISO of approximately 200,000. The locking mount's really nice because one of the things people find a little difficult sometimes when they're using a traditional EF lens, especially for video work, is that it rotates. Great for still photographers. They know it positively locks and they can take it off. But when you have a camera like this that's designed for a multi-purpose task, there's usually a variety of accessories attached. And what this allows us to do is, instead of rotating, it allows us to just butt the lens right up and in, and then turn the locking mechanism to hold it in place. so you don't have to do any of the rotation.
Much easier to switch out during rigging, of course.
Yeah, absolutely.
So now the I use the ME-20, and the ME-20 is a very interesting camera because it doesn't have a monitor or recorder, but it has so much connectivity and so many tripod threads. You have so many options to rig it. So I think some people are very curious into how you can use it.
Right, and that's totally what the multi-purpose and versatility of this camera is. If you look up on top of the camera, we have all the quarter 20s and other fittings for it, but we also have it on the bottom of the camera. So we could tripod mount this, we can undersling the camera if we wanted to, and because it's multi-purpose, we wanted to give people the option of how they want to connect. So if I turn this around and we take a look at the different connectors on the back, we'll see it can use standard XLR power. So if you're using batteries or you're using any kind of floor power to set it up. We also have the connectors for the remote terminals. Genlock, so this could actually work very well in a live broadcast environment where you're trying to sync the cameras up. And also two 3G SDIs come out of this camera. So the nice thing about having the two is it allows you to do one clean feed with nothing on it. So whether you're recording or going into a broadcast switcher, you don't have to worry about any of the menus ever appearing on that. The top one, which is more of a monitor out, allows you to put all the displays on it. So we can run one back to, say, a Video Village or even just a camera monitor so you can do the settings, and the other one is always going to be a clean feed for your recording or for your broadcast output.
Perfect. So you have that modular flexibility, just like the lens, honestly. Now, all of that has remote controllability, so does that go all the way down to the lens?
Yeah, absolutely. So the nice thing about this camera is once you plug the controller in, for a lens like this that has to control all through the EF, it just connects and goes straight through. But if you're using a lens that needs a standard 12-pin connection, we also do have the lens output right there for it.
Wow, it's amazing. So all these options, all the flexibility, but sometimes people might be a little overwhelmed with the options in rigging, so I believe Canon also announced some kits too, right?
Yeah, we're coming out with a series of kits designed to kind of be like a easy way to expand your kit out. So a lot of times people spend, do I need this accessory? Do I need that? They buy a camera and it's not ready to go. So we have a couple different ones, from ENG to a wedding documentary kit to kind of a studio setup. And this is just to give you everything in one box to get started. So it's kind of like a shoot and go package.
Awesome. And you also, of course, have that room to grow in the future.
Oh, absolutely. You can add any accessories you want.
Well, that's great because it takes some of the thinking out of the equation, but also gives you room to grow. So everyone, thank you for watching. Thank you, Ken, for showing me this awesome gear. Hope you all enjoyed. Bye-bye.
Whether you're a hobbyist or a professional, B&H has the answers to your questions. Experience a world of technology at our New York City Superstore. Connect with us online or give us a call. Our staff of experts is happy to help.